Greetings, programs! Xayonubrax is back again for more retro Let's Plays. Now, 2021 marks the 35th anniversary of a beloved franchise. I am, of course, referring to Metroid. Now, yes, Legend of Zelda also has its 35th anniversary, but Mommy and Daddy Nintendo love one franchise more than the other. So, I thought for a majority of this year, we'd play through most of the mainline Metroid games, starting with Zero Mission, the remake of the original. A fantastic remake of the original. So, I thought, great place to start. So let's go ahead, jump right on in. Of course, normal. Planet Zebes. I called this place home once, in peaceful times, long before evil haunted the caverns below. Now I shall finally tell the tale of my first battle here, my so-called Zero Mission. Samus Aran. I love this game. I should also warn you right now and off the bat that this is not going to be Morph Ball. It's not going to be a Morph Ball. This is not going to be a 100% playthrough. This is not going to be a speedrun playthrough. I don't do speedruns. Depending on the game, I might be able to do 100%. That varies, but this one requires a lot of backtracking and whatnot. But anyway. No, when I say mainline... when I say mainline Metroid games, I should mention that it's going to be Metroid Zero Mission, Metroid 2. Which version of Metroid 2 varies on what I can get to play. It's either going to be the original. I like the original fine, but Samus Returns, the remake on 3DS, was fantastic. And then you had AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, a fantastic fan rendition. Now, I have that on my computer. Should be able to just bring it up and play it no problem. Getting a 3DS to play on my computer, on the other hand, is a different story. So, that all depends on, like I said, if I can get it to run on an emulator. We'll see, but expect all three Prime games, Prime 1, 2 Corruption, or Echoes, and 3 Corruption, and then Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion. If any of you out there are asking about what about Other M, I want you to firmly take your hand and just slap yourself across the face. Look. Other M had good gameplay. This is about all it had for it. I'm not its biggest fan, nor do I honestly count it toward the mythos, because it honestly didn't add anything. But we're not here to talk about that. I could go on and on about ranting about that game. But you know what? If you want me to include it, fine. We can do that. But we've got a bit before we get there. So, anyway, playing this. Why not the original? The NES? Well, 2 reasons. One, I don't own the original. I own Zero Mission, both on the original Game Boy Advance cartridge and on Virtual Console on the Wii U. Well, I do have the Switch version for the online console, but this was just such a fantastic remake. It's like, it's like Resident Evil's remake. The original is still a classic, but the remake adds so much more. It's its own separate game, and also makes the other one pale in comparison. That's just my opinion. So I was like, this one just adds more depth to it. We get a good look at the final door. Locks. All right. I'm making the wrong way. Ah! So used to playing this on a Game Boy Advance or a 3DS. Or no, not a 3DS. I'm sorry. Nintendo, in all its infinite wisdom, decided not to include Game Boy Advance games in the 3DS Virtual Console unless you were a Nintendo ambassador. Thank you, Nintendo. Look, I need to clarify something. I will always be a Nintendo fanboy, as in what games they publish. In terms of corporate decisions, nah. If you've been following my Cyberpunk playthrough, you'll know I'm not the biggest fan of corporations. Ah! Ah! Hand me beast. But you know what? We're not really on top. I'm just kind of talking, I'm ranting, I'm raving, sounding like I'm in a loop. This game, we gotta talk about this game. This game, in its... hell. I could honestly just rant and rave about how good this game is. I mean, it does have its drawbacks. None of which are coming to mind offhand, but... I mean... But let's think about this for a second. This series is... Not this game in particular, the original, is turning 35. This is one of the things I like about this remake. It adds so much more to it where you couldn't in the original. Which, I get it. Limitations of the hardware at the time. I get it. But at the same time, it's like... Okay, gotta backtrack. And... Oh! I still remember when this originally came out, it got me. Got it. An entirely optional boss that you'd run into, I think, 3 times throughout the course of the game. After which, you miss your chance at the charge beam. Is the charge beam necessary? No, but it's one of those things that ups your power and it is nice to have in a pinch. So we're gonna save. But no, I don't even know how long these games are gonna take. My usual playthroughs of this, God, I don't even remember my times. I think roughly. Hard to say, but again. Waste my missiles. Huh. Perfect. No, see, I love Legend of Zelda. I want to make that very clear right now. I am not dissing Legend of Zelda in any way, shape, or form. Yes, it's turning 35, and yes, there are a smorgasbord of games I could play of that franchise. Here's the deal. Metroid, even in its 30th anniversary 5 years ago, did not get really much acknowledgement or love. What did we get for any kind of acknowledgement to look forward to? A teaser trailer for Metroid Prime 4. That is what we got at E3, I think. Oh God, I don't even remember now. It's been so long. I think it was announced right alongside Bayonetta 3. Guess what we got from it? Nothing, besides a mysterious 4 and ominous music. It's all we have to look forward to for Prime Forward right now. So, and Nintendo hasn't acknowledged it at all, doesn't really give it any fanfare or anything. So yeah, I'm doing this to serve as a love letter for a franchise that deserves it. Now, one of the things a lot of people are asking for, again, I feel like I'm just ranting about nonsense and whatnot. One of the things that a lot of people want Nintendo to do for this franchise is to port the Prime trilogy onto the Switch. Makes sense in a way if Prime 4 is going to be on the Switch. Here's why it doesn't make sense. When they ported the Prime trilogy onto the Wii, it gave all the other older games motion controls. The Switch has motion controls in a way, but in some aspects it doesn't have anything like the Wii did. So I feel like even like people claiming for a port of Skyward Sword to the Switch, I roll my eyes and I'll tell you maybe in a future playthrough. But anyway, that's a whole other can of worms. It just feels like it would be very difficult, and I hate to say it because I would love for the Prime trilogy to be on the Switch. I feel like they'd have to take away the motion controls, and since Prime 3 heavily featured motion controls, it's just one, yeah. Kill those buggers. Alright. But anyway, so, yeah. Like I said, I could talk and talk and talk to death, which, hey, my commentary is why you come here, right? You don't want to come to see my magnificent gameplay, because we all know my game skills are fantastic. Yeah, that's right. But no. Maybe even later in the year, I will do some Legend of Zelda playthroughs. Of what? I honestly don't know. I could probably pick and choose my favorite games, but one of them being my favorite Legend of Zelda game being Breath of the Wild. That's been played to death, but again, we'll save it. Oh, God. No! Get away! Get away! Get away! Okay, so let's touch on, let's do some critiquing right now. So one of the things that they added to Zero Mission from the original was this whole thing, waypoints, guides that would essentially say, hey, you've got an objective, go here for another power-up. The original, you didn't have that. You just found your way. Sometimes you would enter an area where, oh, I can't be here right now. I shouldn't be here. I'm in trouble. This one kind of guides you along, which I get it, being that this is now quite a few years after the fact. Gamers need their, or I guess game developers or publishers feel like gamers need their hands holding them. Again, looking at you, Legend of Zelda. Personally, I don't think we need our hands held. I wouldn't mind a sign every now and then, but hand holding, it doesn't. No, it to me it feels like I don't want to say an insult, because honestly there are some gamers that probably could. There are some games that, yeah, you do need your hand held a little bit, but it takes away from the game itself. Like this truly doesn't feel like it's taking away from the exploration of the game. It gives you kind of like, hey, here's kind of a signpost of where you should go, but after a point, it stops. It's like, all right, you've grown, you kind of get the gist of what's going on. So we're going to go ahead and send you on your way. And it's up to you to figure out what you got to do. This actually, yeah, this, I would say this serves as the tutorial aspect of the game. Kind of gives you a feel of what you expect, pardon me, throughout most of the game, and just enough to be like, all right, you got your feet wet and some acid, and off you go. I guess that attributes to most of the Metroid Castlevania games, in a sense. Ooh, another one of the better aspects: animated cutscenes. Yes, because you know then when the eyes switch, you know it's now predatory. Right? Okay, we're gonna save. Okay. Let me take a look at my map. Okay. So for prime example, let's just go ahead and do this. So we got our waypoint. Can't. Nope. Can't grab it. Okay. Which you'll find out later. I'll talk about it when we get to that point. Why that was kind of an odd thing. Nope, I can't get that yet. But yeah, I'm probably gonna do circles around these conversations. But But yeah, one of the things that this game added was new areas to explore, new power-ups. And again, yeah, I might lose track because that's just one of my fallings. Is sometimes I can get a tangent, get distracted, and go, ooh. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of this franchise just because of the style of gameplay, the heroine. Not, you know what I'm talking about. There was never a lot explained story-wise. My first Metroid game was Fusion. I didn't get a chance to have Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo, and okay, see, symbolism. This is different. This is new. This is odd. What do we got? Ominous music, an unknown item. Okay, what in the world is this? And we have no idea what it is. Item incompatible with current suit. Okay, so that tells us later we're going to get a new suit. Cool, neat. It'll blow up blocks, but again, neat. I feel like this is going to be one of those things that's like, it wasn't like Super Metroid where I was able to offer dialogue. No one talks in this game. It's literally just an exploration game. Find power-ups, complete the objective, move on. Well, you know what? That gives me a chance to talk. You get my opinions on stuff, and, you know, since it's the internet, now I'm one of the voice of billions. Ah! Okay. Plus, it has been a while since I've played any of these games, so... Oh, okay. Case in point. There we go. Power grip. Okay. Grab and hang from ledges and corners. I needed a power up for that, apparently. Which is odd because in previous games, you didn't need to. You didn't need to do that. You didn't need a power-up for that. Notice that style of the statue. It was different from all the others we've seen so far, even the ones that had the unknown item. I think they were trying to say, yeah, this was a different power-up than anything you've ever had before. Or it could be the area. Hard to say. Okay, found my ship. Okay, can't go that way, so we'll go back this way. Which I had to laugh at is interesting. You've come from this area to get to where you started, but the map's not blue. You have no idea how to get there. I don't know. It's just kind of one of those weird things. Back we go. Oh, well, yeah, let's try it. Like I said, it has been forever since I've actually sat and played these games again. So we'll just do a little bit of exploring. That's the whole point. Ah! Like I said, I'm not going for 100%. If I remember where stuff are or I see that I can get it, great. I'm not going to do any backtracking that's unnecessary to try and get 100%. It's literally just to sit and enjoy games. That's my play style. I like to sit and enjoy games. If a game gets too... What's the right word? I don't want to say challenging. Tedious. If a game gets too tedious and just becomes downright just unenjoyable, then it takes the fun out of it and I don't want to play anymore. Case in point. What was a good one? Fall Guys is a prime example of that. That game, yes, there's the human element involved in that, but after a while it's like, yeah, you're either getting good or you're not. I was never good at it, so it just was tedious, so I stopped playing it. Although if popular demand wants me to do it, I will play it again. Anyway. But yes, no. My first game, Metroid game, was Metroid Fusion, and then Prime won right along with it. Both games, I immediately was in love with this franchise, which, yeah, Prime 4 is the fourth game in the series, and it's a little late, but of course that led me to backtrack and play the older games, and was like, oh my god, what have I been missing? And then shortly after Fusion, this game came out, and case in point, let's do some exploring. Okay, this room is safe. Hot. Oh, come on. There we go. I knew I could make that jump. There we go. Nice. But yeah, after playing Prime and then, you know, Fusion, and then I immediately was like, oh, I need more of this. And it was just a fun game series to play. And then it was like, the well dried up, and then we had other games added. You know what two games I'm referring to. Yep, that's Real Lava. So yeah, it's just, I want Nintendo to at least, and those of you out there screaming about F-Zero, yes, same boat. Unfortunately, I was never a big F-Zero fan. I played the Game Boy Advance game. I played the 64 game, but other than that, I was never really big into F-Zero. So my introduction to F-Zero was Captain Falcon and Smash. The only way I knew it was a franchise. Alright, so we've got our direction. Come on. Come on. Back up. Crap. Well, okay, there we go. Okay. And oh, well, okay, that's fine. Okay, so case in point. Look, door. You can go open the door. Exploration. Ah, it's hot. Yay, I'm hurting. Looking before you leap, as it were. So, one of those great aspects of this game. All right. Okay. There's the expansion there. Destroying all the ones that I don't need. Okay. Come on. But I guess the 64 era should have been a sign that Metroid was not going to get a lot of love. And actually, I'm going to stop here. I'm coming close on time. So I will stop here. Yeah. So we'll stop here. Thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. If you could drop a like, leave a comment. Tell me what your thoughts are on the Metroid series as a whole. Or maybe if I should double back and play the original NES versions. If you have any tips or tricks on how to play Metroid 2, because what I'm doing is trying to go in chronological order in the timeline aspect. Metroid, the Prime games, and then 2, 3, Super Metroid, Fusion, so on. So, if you want me to try something different, by all means, let me know. Ring that bell to be notified and subscribe, please. Slowly building up a fan base, and I really appreciate it. So, let's get the word out. So, as always, I'll see you all next cycle. Zayun, out!